And we are live and we are ready to go. I hope you guys can see me. This is going to be more of an impromptu video. If you guys have questions or comments or anything like that, this is more of a confessional. Okay, so as I said before, it's just a little confession. It's part of my mistakes. You know, as a language coach, as an English teacher, you learn things and then you grow. Okay, so you make mistakes and then you readjust, and you make mistakes and then you readjust. A lot of you probably don't know my story, but you know I came here from America, so I grew up near Chicago, Illinois, so the same city where Michael Jackson grew up. And I have five brothers, and I have actually four brothers and three sisters, and it's a really really big family. Okay, and so I grew up there, and I came here to Italy in 2014, so about 5 years ago. And when I first came here, I knew nothing. All right, so a lot of people ask me, well, why did you come to Italy? Well, I came here because I got married, right? And so, you know, my wife, Marcella, my man, I appreciate you, man. And so I came here for my wife, right? So we got married after having a long distance relationship. We got married, you know, after 5 years. So, you know, we were on Skype. I was in Miami. So I bounced around. Okay. I was in Texas and Miami and other places. And we had a long distance relationship for 5 years. My wife is from Moldavia. Okay. So she's not even Italian. But when we met, she was living in Brescia, okay? And when we first met, my wife spoke no English. Italian girls. Well, I don't know. Maybe sometimes, Marcello. I think women in general can drive you crazy. That's funny, though. But actually, my wife is from Moldavia. And, Moldavians are really strong. Like, you know, the Latinas, the spicy picante Latinas. But that was my dream, actually. I thought I would marry a Mexican girl. I thought I would marry like a girl from Brazil or South America or something like that. And I married a Moldovan. Now Moldovans are like I think her grandfather is from Romania. Okay, so they're Latin. It's a Latin language. And I came here 2014, and I didn't even know the language, right? So I was like, okay, well, what do I do? And I had no idea how to start. And I did what most people do is, I just grabbed an app. Okay, I always recommend like Duolingo if you're starting a language. But after about a year and 3 months, I reached like the B1 level, and I thought, okay, do you speak Russian? That's a good question. No. The question is actually the answer is no. But my goal is to speak like 6 or 7 languages, and maybe Russian will be one of them because my wife speaks Russian. So she speaks Russian, she speaks Romanian, Italian, and her English is like a B1, like intermediate level. But who knows? Maybe I will speak Russian. Like my goal actually is to speak 7 languages. So of course English, Italian, Spanish, Romanian, um, Arabic, Chinese, and then the seventh language I don't know. So who knows? Maybe I'll learn Russian one day. I'm not sure yet. And so, but yeah, when I first came here to Italy, I couldn't speak any Italian, and it was horrible. And it took me about a year and 3 months to reach like a good fluent level, like a B1. And so I thought, okay, well, I reached B1, so let me continue to do what I was doing, right? So I was like, okay, I'll just use Duolingo. And so I had problems speaking, I had problems listening, and all this other stuff. And after about another year and a half to 2 years, um, almost 3 years. It took me almost 3 years to go from like a B1 to a B2. And I say that because I have a lot of people who want to learn English, and but they've been stuck for a long time. Like before people come to me, their level is B1 and they've practiced like 5,000 hours. 5,000 hours of exposure to English. And, a lot of them ask me, well, how do I get to the next step? And actually, I posted I made a post maybe earlier, maybe 3 hours ago, about what you should do. And I wrote down a list. If you are at the B1 level, I wrote down all the grammar that you need. But what I did was, I kept doing the same things over and over and over and over, and it didn't help at all. My Italian was horrible. My Italian was horrible. And, I can have a conversation now, and I can pretty much speak and have a conversation without too much difficulty. Right now, my level in Italian is B2, and my goal is in 3 months, not 3 months, in 6 months, I want to reach the C1 level. So that's my goal. But I tell you guys that story because, a lot of people, I wasted 3 years of my life, stuck at the B1 level because I kept doing the same things over and over and over. And, I don't want that to happen to you guys where you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And you don't know why you're growing, right? You don't know why you can't get to the next level. And so, it's because maybe you watch TV series or you watch films and you listen to the radio, you listen to podcasts. But when you reach the B1 level, you have to study the grammar. And you have to speak. You have to speak and you have to listen. You can hear these guys, these children playing outside. But you have to do things that you don't like doing. Like, for example, I'm an introvert. I hate doing live videos. You probably see me every single day, but I hate live videos. And I'm not really like a social person. But right now I'm learning copy, how to write headlines and things like that. But for the B1 level, you have to do things you don't like. And, for some students, it's grammar, and then other students, it's, speaking or practicing speaking by yourself. So that's it. That's my confession is I wasted 3 years stuck at the B1 level, and I didn't have to be stuck. If I knew that all I had to do was focus on a few key things and just repeat those key things to get to the next level, I could have saved myself about 2.5 years. So that's my advice for you guys is if you're trying to get to the next level, if you're trying to go from a B1 to a B2, or even from a B2 to a C1, which is an advanced level, you have to focus on a few things and become a master at those few things. Just master it. Just take 3 to 6 months. Like from B1 to B2, I would say 6 months. 3 to 6 months. It depends on your level. And just the same thing over and over and over and over. Same grammar over and over and over and over. And what you do is you can practice your speaking, your listening, your reading and writing with the same grammatical structures. So what I mean is, I'll give you an example. If you're learning the first conditional, what you do is you listen to a podcast for your level. So B1, you can type this into Google. You can go to Google, type in B1 podcast first conditional, and you can listen to the podcast, practice the grammar, and then speak. So it's my translation technique. So you can practice speaking all by yourself, so you don't need a teacher. And so that would be my advice: is focus on a few things. Don't try to do this and this and this and this and this. Radio, TV series, movies. No, I would say my suggestion is focus. Focus on a few things to master those few things so that you can go to the next level. The reason why you're stuck is you're wasting energy. You're wasting your energy is everywhere. And one day I think I'm going to put an infographic. But if you have like a laser, how a laser is like focused energy, and it can cut through steel, right? But for example, this little light that I have here, I'll show you guys here. Without it, you won't be able to see me. This little light here is, it's like a ring light. And, the energy is scattered, right? But with the laser, you can cut through stuff. And, with language learning, you have to really, really, really focus just on those few things to get to the next level. So that's it. That's all I have. That's my confession for today. I was stuck for 3 years, and I understand you guys and what you're going through. And so a lot of your objections are, Paul, I'm busy. I have, work and family, and I don't have time, and I travel, and I have multiple offices, and I have employees, and this, and this, and this, and this. Trust me, I understand. I have a family, I have a business, I have a business coach, I have partners, and things like that. But, you can do 5 to 15 minutes per day, right? So, for example, one of my students, Alberto, he's a co-founder of a startup. And, with him, his level was an A2. And we were able to go from A2 to B1.2 in 6 months, right? And so I gave him some activities to focus on. Just focus on this. Boom, 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 boom. And he's busy. So he's like, I think he's a co-founder of a startup where they sell medical equipment. And he was selling his company. And he was busy the whole day. And we came up with a plan on how to overcome that. Right? Or you may say, Paul, I just don't have the time, right? I don't have the time, or I don't even have, 15 minutes. If that's your situation, then do 5 minutes, do 2 minutes. My goal for you is to do something every single day, okay? That's the goal. Do something every single day, but don't stop, okay? Don't quit, and just be consistent. Paul, I have a family. I have children. I have employees. I have a family, okay? I have a 10-month-old, so I'm definitely not getting any sleep. But I definitely understand the situation. If you don't have the time, again, just do like 5 to 15 minutes. And then on the weekends, you can do 1 to 2 hours of practice, okay? Another thing is, Paul, I travel. I have an office in Rome. I have an office in Milan. I have an office in London, Singapore, New York. And these are all real stories, right? So, for example, I have a student. Her name is Ilaria, okay? So she's a partner for a web design company. And she's really, really busy. And what she does is I think she has different activities that she does, okay? And my suggestion is break down activities into 5 to 15 minutes. So, you can do 5 to 15 minutes in the morning, 5 to 15 minutes in the afternoon, and then 5 to 15 minutes in the evening, okay? So that's my suggestion. So that's my confession. 3 years. I wasted 3 years of my life. The benefits of focusing is you feel like you're accomplishing something. You feel like you're making progress, and you feel like you're getting closer to your goal. But you have something solid, and after about 3 to 6 months, you can really see the difference in your progress. Okay, so that is my suggestion for you guys. Focus. Focus is the key. Concentration, focusing on the right things, focusing on the right grammar for your level. So B1, just focus on the B1 grammar and do that for 3 to 6 months, okay? And I am done for today. Thank you guys for watching. That's my confession. Don't waste 3 years like I wasted, all right? Focus, 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 focus on those few key things, and then you'll see results. Talk to you guys later. Ciao, ciao.